Now that you've learned about document manipulation with the thumbnail panel, let's go into your drawing and work up with markup tools. One major feature of Revu is the entire suite of industry standard markup tools. You can use these tools to annotate your drawings and documents, ensuring you are effectively communicating information to your team while saving yourself time and effort. In this session, you will learn how to locate and use markup tools such as Callout, Cloud and Cloud Plus, Highlighter, and Stamps. You will also learn how to add images to your drawings. Lastly, you will learn how to calibrate and set the scale to your drawing to get the most out of the link tool. As you saw when exploring the Revu interface, you can access markup tools either via the menu bar or even quickly using toolbars. You can also access them from the keyboard shortcuts, which you can learn about on the Help menu. Right now, you are seeing the markup tools presented in your custom Essential profile. To be sure the correct two bars are visible, go to Tools, then Toolbars. Shapes and Text should be turned on. The first tool on the Text toolbar is adding text comments. This markup adds a box with a text in it. To place a text box, click on the text box icon. Then drag out the text box on the document and begin to type. Revu does check for spelling mistakes and indicates typos with red underlines. Once you've added the text, hit the Escape key or click outside the markup to finish. You can adjust the size of the box using the yellow control points on the side. You can also click the Auto Size text box from the Properties toolbar. The box will automatically conform to the size of the text. If you want all your markup text boxes to auto-size, you have that option in the Preference menu. Under Tools, Markup, then Auto-Size Text Box and Color Markups. It will then do this in every instance of these markups. Next, look at the Highlighter tool. Select the Highlighter tool, which you can use like a freehand pen. The tool includes some smoothing to even out your stroke. Alternatively, hover over the text content with the highlighter and notice that the cursor changes. This means it will draw a highlight in a straight line over that text. You might encounter a situation where you don't want the highlighter tool to highlight text, but the cursor is indicating that it will pick up the text instead of letting you freehand highlight. In this case, you can toggle between text and freehand by holding the Control key while drawing. If you want to draw a straight line over the non-text content, simply hold down the Shift key while you click. The Callout tool is a very popular markup tool for Revu users. A callout is a combination of a text box attached to an arrow. When the tool is selected, you first need to choose the orientation of the arrow. The first spot you click is where the arrow will point. You can then drag out and click again, which will place your text box. Type in the comment. Once placed, you can easily move the arrow or the text box. You can add more leader lines to the callout markups by right-clicking and selecting Add Leader. You can even convert a text box to a callout tool by adding a leader line. Another popular tool for Revu users is the Cloud tool. This tool lets you click and drag out a rectangular cloud. Holding Shift as you drag out the cursor will make a square shape. You can also pick points by clicking the edges of the desired shape for the irregular shaped cloud. You can close the shape by placing the last point of your cloud and pressing Enter on your keyboard. Revu will automatically connect the last point to the first point you placed. There is even a combined callout and cloud markup tool called Cloud Plus, which saves you time by allowing you to add a cloud, a leader line, and a text box all at once, rather than creating two separate markups. Select the Cloud Plus tool. Create the cloud shape first, either by dragging a rectangle shape or clicking the edge points. After you've closed the shape, point the leader line where you want your text to go. Once you click, your text box will appear and you can add your comment. The text box portion of the Cloud Plus can be moved independently from the cloud, but moving the cloud moves the entire markup. You can also easily place images on your document from your text toolbar. Selecting an image on the toolbar will open your local drive. Select the image you'd like to insert, click Open, then add the image by clicking and dragging out the cursor. You can select it and drag and drop to move it around. Select Crop from the Properties toolbar at the top to further crop the image. Drag the yellow control points to resize the image. Adding lots of images directly on your drawing can take up valuable space. Revu solves that problem with the Capture tool. The Capture tool allows you to embed images and videos into markups. This saves space and ensures the media is always connected with the markup. The caption feature is only viewable with Revu. Non-Revu users will need to view media through a capture summary, which is explained in the markup section. To add a caption to a markup, right-click the markup and select Capture. There are two ways to add capture, from camera and from file. To take pictures and videos from your device's camera, select From Camera. Whenever you need to add videos, use From Camera to avoid any playback errors. To add pre-existing images from your computer, select From File. After you select the image you want to embed and click Open, the capture icon will appear under the markup. This indicates that there is an image or video in the markup. Clicking the icon opens the capture gallery. From the capture gallery, you can view and manipulate the media embedded in a markup. Click the left and the right arrows to browse through the updated pictures and videos. You can add more images or videos from the From Camera and From File icons. To export either the current photo or all photos and galleries, use the Export icon. If you need to delete a photo, click the Trash icon. The Snapshot tool lets you copy and paste content. For example, you want to advise adding a door to a room, or you want to copy a section of a drawing to the same sheet. Select the Snapshot tool from the toolbar. Click and drag the cursor from the rectangle around the desired area. Additionally, you can click points to define a polygonal shape around an area. The selected area flashes blue when a snapshot has been taken. Press the Escape key to escape the Snapshot tool. Paste the snapshot with the Control key or right-click and select Paste. If needed, adjust the position or orientation of the snapshot. Snapshots also let you change the content's color. Right-click on a snapshot and select Change Color. You can use Revu's color processing to change the color of the content. Let's move on to stamps. Stamps are particularly popular during the review process because you can use them to mark documents as a draft, for review, or even indicate when a revision has been issued. A stamp is considered a markup and usually a collection of markups. Stamps can be made up of text boxes, images, and other options to create one markup. Stamps can be found under the Tools menu or the toolbar. Let's place a stamp on a page. It helps to zoom into the area of the drawing where you want to place a stamp before you start the process. Select the proprietary stamp from the drop-down menu that appears. With that stamp selected, use the crosshairs on your mouse and click to place the stamp. There's another feature that will save you a lot of time whenever you need to apply the same stamp to multiple pages in the same PDF. Here, the proprietary stamp appears only on the first page, but in this case, you want to apply the stamp to the same place on all other pages in the file. Once you have a stamp on a page, you can easily apply it to all pages in your document using the right-click function. Right-click on the proprietary stamp on this page. From the Content menu, click Apply to Pages. A dialog box appears where you can select the page range desired. After clicking OK, you can review the pages to see the stamp has been applied to the selected pages. The Link tool is the most basic tool when working with measurement tools. Before you begin taking measurements, you must ensure that you know the proper scale and that your document is properly calibrated to that scale. If the calibration is off, your measurement will not be accurate. Calibration allows Revu to determine a PDF scale, enabling accurate measurements. Revu can calibrate a PDF to a single scale or to a separate X and Y scales as needed. You can start the collaboration process from multiple places: the thumbnail panel, measurements panel, menu bar, measurements, toolbar, status bar, and the navigation bar. We will collaborate from the navigation bar since it's the most efficient place to start. Select Scale Not Set at the bottom right. If your drawing is a standard scale, it will be under Preset. You can also easily customize your scale under Custom. If you know the scale of your drawing, then put it here. However, if your document did not have a scale shown, you could still use the Collaborate button to set the scale using the standard or known dimension. Click Collaborate, and your cursor will become a crosshair. Then navigate to the area with a known dimension, like the width of a door, and select the beginning and end point of the known dimension. From the Collaborate dialog box, enter the known dimension. In this case, 3 feet. Once you input the scale, you can customize the page range, unit of measurement, as well as the precision of the scale. Click Apply Scale and your scale will be collaborated correctly. The length is especially helpful in verifying the collaborated scale of your drawing. Select the Length tool from the Tools menu. Your cursor will become a crosshair. Now, click the beginning and end point of the measurement and confirm your scale is collaborated correctly. After that first measurement is confirmed, you can confidently measure lengths on your drawing.